What's something about the animal kingdom that absolutely terrifies you? The biology of tigers. They convert protein into muscle mass at an absolutely terrifying rate. They have nerves in their fangs that help them find the spaces in between vertebrae so they can crunch down and separate the spine of their prey. They can remain totally still in a kill position, waiting for the right moment to strike, with all their muscles flexing, for up to 2F*** king days. They exist in every climate from desert to jungle to frickin' Siberia. Their camouflage doesn't need to change with their environment, because it's universally effective due to most animals having dichromatic vision. It even works on humans sometimes. They are fast, silent, and scary strong compared to lions, wolves, and other predators in their weight class. They have even been known to kill bears in some cases. Tigers are scary in the most badass way. Tiger tongues are so scratchy they can lick and itch your skin and muscle away, exposing bone greater than 3. The intelligence of birds. We greatly underestimate them, but a murder of crows large enough could inflict some serious harm to a human being. My old FWB was a bird lady. She cut up meat with seed for the city crows and put it on her roof. They would come bring her things and visit. Don't enrage the crows. Build your army. My mom's exactly the same, and I'm starting to realize it's better to work with them than to fear them. Monkeys have been watched appointing murder together, where one group of monkeys sat together and collectively walked to a neighboring group to kill one defined subject together. This made me realize how close we are related to them and reminded me what a horrible species we are. They did an experiment where they taught them to use currency, and they almost immediately invented prostitution, which is more heartwarming than terrifying. Really. Not sure if any of y'all have had chickens, but I tell you what, you learn some shit watching your coop. Get too many roosters and your hens will be ravaged sexually and left with no feathers. Those fuckers will eat anything but citrus and jalapenos. They love KFC and Thanksgiving turkey carcasses. You got bad eggs? Give them to the chickens. Just make sure to break them or they'll realize they're eating their eggs and start eating any egg they lay. Better keep your fresh hatched chicks separate or the big rooster might decide they look tasty. Those birds are fucked. I have a couple hens and 2 roosters and those fuckers are almost bald on their back. About 3 days ago the older rooster started to have problems walking. He did the same a year ago. I think he has some spasms. And if not my neighbor, he'd be dead and have half of his head bitten off. Anything that can breed, hatch, burrow, live inside my body. I had a school project and was randomly assigned a parasite called the guinea that burrowed inside people. I hated that teacher the rest of the year. I agree. Parasites are huge sources of pure nope. If ants were bigger, they would take over the world. Their intelligence is staggering. And their strength. They can carry many times their weight. This just in. Big ant motherfucker steals Empire State Building. Still at large. Luckily, they wouldn't have such crazy relative strength if they were larger. Asterisk combined intelligence. Smash their queen and they all die within a week. According to my sadistic 4th grade science fair project, I added like 16 small doors to an ant farm and got the colony started, so that when the queen got set up, I could just open her door and pluck her out for phase 2, the fall to anarchy, in which I beheaded the queen, put her back, and watched the workers all basically freak out and run around, disorganized as shit, and even beginning to attack each other sometimes, until they all starved to death, despite plenty of food. That highlights why we have to start thinking about things like insect colonies, slime molds, etc., as collective intelligences. One single ant is pretty dumb the same way one human cell is. But they're crazy efficient at solving certain problems through simple rules followed by individuals. The neat thing is that the queen is just as dumb as the other ants. She's just an organ to make new ants. Killing her is like irradiating a human to the point where they can't make more cells. which coincidentally also makes our bodies panic and die. Just about anything related to hyena sex. I'll keep it brief, but their genitals are really weird. Females have a pseudo-penis-like thing that also contains the birth canal. Imagine giving birth through your penis. Welcome to the female hyena life. Hashtag AO what the fuck. They rape all the males. But if they like one, such as a father, brother, or friend, they rape them a little less harshly. Crocodiles can't chew. They kinda just tear apart their prey and swallow. I once watched a croc bite the jaw off another croc at Zhang's crocodile farm in Sarawak. Just one bite, and the bottom half of the other animal's mouth was just flopping around by the skin. Those are some vicious animals. My mama says crocodiles are so ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. I encountered the boss man orangutan at a nature preserve on Borneo. He just came down out of the trees to see what was going on. And the place went silent. Had he decided he didn't like anyone's face, it would have been over and no one could have done a thing about it. Fucking ticks, they leap off of trees and carry Lyme disease. Wasn't the ticks leaping of trees an old wife's tale? According to my information, they hang around grass and shrubbery waiting for something to brush against it to hang on. Yes, the jumping off of trees thing is fake, but it adds to the scare factor thinking about them assassins greeting you. All those parasites that basically mind control other creatures into killing themselves. The single-celled parasite Toxoplasmosis gondii has been shown to cause mice to be more risky, and thus more likely to be eaten by a cat. The cat is the only organism that the parasite can reproduce in to infect new hosts. Due to cat feces in the environment, humans get toxoplasmosis from vegetables that touched contaminated soil and from eating undercooked meat from farm animals that were infected by the soil as well. It lives in you for life after you are infected, and up to 50% of humans have toxoplasmosis living inside of them now. I'm personally convinced that crazy cat people are victims of the parasite since cat hoarding doesn't make any logical sense and would increase the chances of the parasite infecting new organisms. We don't actually know the long-term effects of the toxoplasmosis infection in humans, but it has been linked to schizophrenia and it occupies brain tissue in infected individuals. Really crazy that every second human being has a mind-altering parasite. And when you think about that many people will get it later on, in the end you're more likely to have get it than not. When you're on the Kilimanjaro safari ride and the bridge gets all bumpy. This was a pleasant surprise. The ones we don't know about. I was actually looking for this comment. I live on the river. See the baby deer and at night hear the coyotes. It sounds like there are hundreds. Their calls are spooky and I know there will be one less baby deer the next morning. The strength of gorillas. They can lift up to even 4,500 pounds, which is fucking insane. Imagine one that never missed a day at the Guy Monsieur. That for calling itself the smartest species on Earth. The stupidity of humans is truly unmatched by any other species. There's an extinct species of pig called an entelodont, but it's more commonly known as a hell pig. It was the size of a cow and was a carnivore. Imagine a cow-sized warthog with fangs galloping at full speed trying to eat you. Platybelodons. Just platybelodons. I'm not even gonna say why. I want you to Google it and find out for yourself. The entelodonts, as it turns out, weren't actually pigs, but closer to hippos. If you know about the aggressiveness of hippos, that makes them even more terrifying. This helps nothing. Badgers, first you see 7 of them, then you see a couple mushrooms, then bam, snake in the grass. Murder is their day job. People keep tigers, bears and other big predators, and I fear for them. Monsieur, I know the hand-raising does a lot too. Connect the people to the animals, but it takes only one feisty moment for them to kill you. Cats know you have an off switch. Bears are giant, smart, can run down an elk on a mountainside. They're geared perfectly for what they do in nature. Killing something is just routine to these creatures. Just another day. Cat's penis? It has spikes. Those furry bastards are into kinky shit. Australia. Africa scares me more. It's actually got a lot of huge megafauna left. And the harsh conditions combined with huge diversity of species competing in the same niches make animals, especially carnivores, extremely desperate and hungry. Spooky stuff. Australia was like that as well a couple thousand years ago. But natural climatic fluctuation combined with the arrival of humans spelt the end of all that. Some insects can hypnotize their victims like zombies. The only thing stopping certain species from becoming the dominant species on Earth is the fact that they don't have human intelligence. Imagine if squirrels were as smart as we were. Imagine if squirrels could feel emotions other than greed or hate. I feel like elephants do have our intelligence. They just have their interests in different places. They aren't creators and innovators. They're like a whole species of wise old men. Very angry wise old men. The whole thing really. But the fact that for most animals a horrible, agonizing death is the end point is the big one. Either something's going to take you down and eat you, killing you first only if you're lucky. Or you're going to grow old and weak and eventually starve to death, get eaten alive by scavengers. Nearly every single animal to ever live has this waiting for them, monsieur. The entire ocean. Bug to human ratio. There are about 7.8 billion people on the planet. 7,800,000,000. There are 10 quintillion bugs. 10 quintillion. My calculator only goes up to 10 quadrillion, so correct me if you're able to do the math. But I'm pretty sure that'd be enough bugs to completely cover every human on the planet. At least enough to freak us all out and ruin life as we know it. As global warming progresses, more and more fucked up spiders are inhabiting the northern parts of the world. Where I live, spiders. I hate them, monsieur. They crawl around, can bite you, and if you blink for 1 second, you might lose where they went. I'm fully aware that if I die in my tiny home and no one is around for a few days, my cat will most likely eat some of me. Honestly, I'd be fine with my cats eating me if I died and they didn't have access to food. It's not like I am gonna be using my meat suit for anything when I die. So at least someone will get some use out of it. If pufferfish isn't correctly prepared, it can kill you in minutes. And even when it's prepared properly, the meat makes your mouth tingle because there's just a little bit of neurotoxin in it. Really? That I didn't know. I've eaten some strange things, but I've never been anywhere it was actually served. That's why I'm not a chef. Remember the dude that ate the most poisonous part of the pufferfish? It was the stomach or the liver, I don't remember, but he ate it unprepared because he thought he was immune to pufferfish venom, monsieur. Yeah, he didn't last that long. What an idiot. IKR. Most things underwater terrify me. Sharks, orcas, seals, falling off a boat into deep water and getting eaten by something. Ever heard of the big fin squid, the Humboldt squid, the deep sea lizard fish, or the giant isopod? Humans. I am 14 and this is deep. Touché lol. Those savages. I came here to say this. Apex predator. It's all disappearing rapidly. The cordyceps fungus. Have you ever played The Last of Us? This is what inspired that game. Ducks. I have recently discovered that male ducks gather to rape females. It's really shocking. Bats ducked up, with their weird little corkscrew dicks. Have you seen how stacked a chimpanzee is? If they could live on land, octopuses could have been the dominant species. Until we invent guns. True. I think at this point they couldn't do a thing. We could just set up machine guns everywhere and shoot them the second they come out of the water. But if they were around before we had guns, it would be terrifying. Octopuses, let's invade humanity. Humans, haha, machine gun go brr. Woo me. Being told it's time for a bath. He'll scuttle under the couch the minute you begin to mutter the phrase. Reek, it's time for a bath. Sharks, that is all. Monkeys. God, they're terrifying. I get shivers down my spine watching them on David Attenborough. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.